Alright, back on this project here at the farm market. You can see I'm talking really fast, but it's definitely not the same speed you're hearing. Basically what happened was I lost all my video sound, and I have no idea what I'm saying, and it's about 4 months later, and I'm just trying to get through this now. So I'll try to fill you in on what we got going on here, but just know that's why the sound quality is probably not that great. Alright, so you can see there in the red building there, that's the new building they put up. They're just kind of getting it finished up there in April, and it needs some site work, clearly, because the building is like on stilts. It kind of looks like one of those piers you see off the coast. It was way up there, about 2 feet in the air, water underneath it at one point. So back in December we came in and dug a swale that came right from the back corner. You can see it right in front of me there with the water sitting in it. And that came around and out to the ditch by the road there, following the tree line on my right. So what we're doing now is all that dirt that was back there, I never ended up getting it out of there because it turned into just snow, frozen ice. Couldn't really get into it. It was mucky, wet, and then I ended up getting sick. So that was back in December, and now we are into April in this particular video, and it was just dry enough that we can get some dirt moved and get this pasture that I'm in right now restored for them to start using again, and then just get the soil spread out so it could dry because it was extremely wet. So that was the goal, what we had going on here. So you can see me just scooping into the dirt and dumping it over the fence, and I'll go through all of it and pretty much get all of it out of there over the fence. Then I'll go around the other side and get the fence out, or get the soil away from the fence and spread it out along the building. So really the main reason that we were here, and we were kind of just doing some patchwork, essentially. We're not bringing any fill material in yet to get it up to grade, but they're doing the concrete work on the inside, and if you can see right underneath the wall there's that pink foam board insulation. They were putting stone up against it on the inside, and it had no backer on the outside, so I was able to come over and get some of that soil up against the foam board and make it so it didn't kind of collapse on itself. So that was the whole reason that we came over here. Still waiting to go ahead with the rest of it. We got to get millings and stuff for the parking lot, get that brought in and rolled. We got to bring in about 25-30 tandem loads of fill soil around the building still, some miscellaneous drainage and stuff like that. Just kind of on hold at this point, waiting for all sorts of things to happen on our end, their end, and whatnot. There's been holds up with the builder, and there's really no reason to keep spending people's money if they're not going to reap the reward yet. In our schedule, we're only normally a couple weeks out to get stuff like this done, so when they're ready, we'll come back and get her all wrapped up. But that's what we got going on in this particular part. Alright, so now you see we're on the other side of the fence, and I'm just lightly pushing the topsoil up to the building just to kind of give it a little bit of backing. I probably got about 40 yards of soil out of this, maybe more. It was quite a bit. You can see how long that pile is and how wet it is around there. So that's kind of just laying out right now, wet. Well, it's dry now, but it was super wet. I was sinking. But I kind of got that over there just to kind of dry it out too, because it was really, really wet. And some of the other stuff along the woods over there was even worse. So we got through that and kind of got it rough graded up. It's not anywhere close to being done, but it's something. There's just the freaking silly concrete guy. He had to bring in quite a bit of stone there to get that thing up to par. Trying out a new camera angle here. Got a magnetic base for the GoPro. So let me know what you think of this one. This one, I think I kind of like this one better, as long as you can hear me. But obviously that didn't work in this case. So let me know. So, yeah, I'm continuing to spread the soil around. You can't really see it, but over top of my head there is the backup camera on this machine. Really, really love that thing. That makes it so much easier. It sounds like it's kind of like pity. You know, you get a backup camera in a skid steer, but oh my gosh, it makes the world of difference. Not having to look over turn my head around and look over my neck all the time and watch what's going on behind me. I can just look up at the screen. It's so much better. But right in here it was really, really wet. I was trying to get some dry material to kind of help myself venture out there, but it didn't really work. I still sank. Especially over there, you get closer to the septic tank and you see that green pipe coming out of the building. I had to make sure I didn't crush that. So we got through it. It's nice and dry now. And we kind of just roughed it off so it wouldn't hold water over the summer. Because the goal wasn't to get it all perfect yet, just to get the soil dry and let it kind of sink into place. And I think that's what we did. We accomplished the goal with what we had. Next time we come back, we're going to have to strip all this soil off, and we're going to put fill soil underneath it and then retop it with this topsoil. Just the cost of a load of fill soil is a lot cheaper than the cost of a load of topsoil. So by 3 times. So we'll spend a little bit more time with the machines digging it out and whatnot, and putting in some less expensive material and topping it off when we're all done with the material on site. So it's got a little electric fence there too over on my left. I got zapped by that a couple times. I was every time the dirt hits the fence, it zaps it. It zaps the dirt. So I went over there to dig it out with a shovel because I couldn't get it with the machine. And of course, I had an all metal shovel, and I touched the fence with it. Got zapped through the shovel. So that was a good time. Pulled the buddy Dan. Just really friggin' things up. So yeah, like I was saying, we're not really setting anything to a specific grade here. We're just not a finished grade at all. We're just kind of roughing it in and getting soil placed and letting it dry, and just making sure there's no ponds or puddles to be had around the building, because it was just kind of messy. But we got it done. This is probably oh geez, the building's got to be 18 inches, I think, above the crown of the road. And you know, we were probably just quite a few feet low, 2-3 feet low from what existing grade was. So it kind of stinks they got to bring all this material in. Tried talking them into a pond to save money, but they don't want a pond on the site with the kids, so that's all right. We'll do whatever you want. But we were here, geez, back in 2020, election day. I was working here on election day, Trump versus Biden. That's the day I was working out here the first time, so quite a while ago, and now we're just getting around to it, getting back here again. But always a good time. All right, wrapping things up here. This is where the swale started. Last year it was a big puddle there on the inside of the fence, and it carries through there and then up to the street. So I got all that soil out of there, got it dumped over the fence here, and I got it kind of rough graded up to the building. Still got to come up quite a ways, but I got just enough for this foam board, because the guy's getting ready to pour concrete. This foam board's got a backing, so when they put their stone up to, you know, here on the inside, it's 2 foot low, that this won't just give out. So I got to come up with soil all the way up to here. So we got another foot to go. But in the meantime, it's April 5th today, and it's pretty wet. So we got this all out here and kind of baking. The sun can start drying it because it's a big swamp right here. Got to get around all these cans still, and this over here is just a mud puddle. But we're getting it.